How to write a clear set of instructions, also called procedural writing. We come across instructions all the time, whether this is telling us how to cook something, how to make something, how to play something, how to assemble something, how to work something, how to wash something, how to take something, how to look after something, or how to perform something. Instructions should explain how to do something in a way that others can easily follow. Awareness of your audience is important. You would explain something differently to a beginner versus an expert. You also need to decide on how formal your instructions are going to be. Are you going to tell your reader to pop it in the oven or place it in the oven? Traditionally, instructions would have been written down, like a recipe or a set of instructions for a game. However, nowadays it has become common to present instructions in the form of a video. Whilst we'll be covering written down instructions, the advice I'm going to give you also applies to video instructions. Begin your instructions with a title. How-to titles are very common, such as how to put up a tent. However, you may want to give your instructions a more engaging title like Scrambled Eggs the Easy Way or Hitting the Perfect Serve. After your title, it is good to include a short introduction about the instructions. This serves as a hook for your reader and should explain who the instructions are for and why they would be useful to follow. If you are finding it hard to write a persuasive introduction, why not try one of these 3 tips? Tip 1. The question then solution method. Do you like to entertain your family? Do you like to amaze your friends? Would you like to confuse your teachers? Then you'll love this magic trick. Quick to learn and simple to perform. Need a delicious dessert to serve to your family? Then this is the answer. Follow these simple steps and everyone will be begging for more. Tip 2. The if-then method. If you love making paper planes, then you'll love this one. Guaranteed to fly further than your friends' designs. If your t-shirt drawer is always a mess, then follow this easy 3-step process that allows you to fold your shirts in seconds. Tip 3. The Imagine Solution Method. Imagine being bored on a long journey with nothing to do. Learn this great strategy game and you'll never hear yourself say, "Are we there yet, Mum?" Imagine being stuck in the middle of nowhere with a punctured tyre. Here's how to repair it. List the things your reader will need, whether this is the equipment they will require or the ingredients they'll be using. This will enable them to have everything prepared before they begin. When listing them, it is a good idea to use bullet points rather than a numbered list. Take a look at what you would need to have to make pumpkin soup. On the left, I've listed the ingredients using numbered points. On the right, they are listed using bullet points. You can see how confusing it is to use numbered points. Will somebody accidentally use 32 carrots instead of 2? Bullet points help to demarcate each item on the list, and visually, they make it easier for us to read. Fourth, present your instructions in a step-by-step sequence. It's a good idea to use a sequence map to plan your steps before writing them. Break down the process into 3 to 10 steps. If you have too many, it can feel complicated, so avoid this. When you have planned the sequence, write down each step in a clear and precise way. Remember, you want your reader to follow your instructions without any difficulties. Here's a step-by-step guide to making fluffy slime. 1. First squeeze 2/3 of a cup of Elmer's glue into your bowl. 2. Pour in 1/4 cup of water and add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. 3. Squirt 2 cups of sticky shaving foam, not shaving gel. 4. Decide on your choice of food colouring and squirt a few drops into the mixture. 5. Carefully add 1 tablespoon of the important contact lens solution. The brand you use must contain boric acid and sodium borate. 6. Knead for 5 minutes. 7. Add a 2nd tablespoon of contact lens solution. 8. Knead for another 5 minutes. 9. Finally, clean up and have fun with your fluffy slime. You'll notice that I've written it using numbered steps. This helps people who are following the instructions remember what step they are on when they are in the process of making the slime. Because the steps are numbered, you don't really need to use sequence connectors like first or next or finally. Although sometimes it's good still to include some of these because it helps your instructions to have more flow. You'll also notice that many of the steps begin with an imperative verb. Pour, squirt, decide, knead, add. They're all commands or bossy verbs. These are good to use because they are clear, concise, and get to the point. Sometimes, when necessary, a step may start with an adverb, which helps communicate how you would like the reader to follow that specific task. Brackets are useful to use when something needs to be clarified, to ensure your reader doesn't get confused or make a mistake. It is important to keep your instructions simple, so avoid using any unnecessary words. Quite often, adjectives are not needed, so avoid using them. Lastly, it's a good idea to round off your instructions with a final finishing statement. This helps wrap up the instructions, bringing them to a natural end. You've probably heard the expression, "A picture's worth 1,000 words." And it's true that you can communicate more visually than in words. Some instructions are communicated only using pictures. The advantage of this is that it can be understood by people speaking different languages. Adding pictures and diagrams to your instructions can really help make things clear. You could do this in the form of a comic strip, having a picture represent each of the steps. If this is unnecessary or difficult for you to do, simply add a picture when a particular step needs clarification. It's always good to add tips, advice, or warnings to your instructions. They can help your reader become better at the skill you're trying to teach them. They can help them to persevere for longer when something needs repeated practice. They can help them avoid getting hurt when following the instructions, and they can give them advice to avoid something going wrong. So let's summarize what we've learnt in this video in a nutshell.